Hello, Simone. How are you doing? My name is Jorge Lagas. I'm from Radio Futuro in Chile. How are you doing?
I'm great. Yeah. How are you?
I'm fine. I'm very good. Well, we are here to talk about the upcoming show of Epica here in Santiago in Chile. So first of all, how do you feel about coming back to this side of the world?
I love Chile. We have some of the best shows in Chile. So the last time we played there was insane. It was a huge show and an amazing crowd. So I can't wait to go back.
Great. We're waiting for that too. This time you bring your new album, A Spiral, released this year. How do you feel with this album? Seems like a very special moment in your career, band.
Yes, every new album that we release, it's always very exciting and a little bit scary, but we've had a good feeling about this album, and we ourselves were very happy with the end result. And you don't know if the people are gonna like it when you release it, so that's always exciting. But luckily, we got great feedback, and people connect to the songs, and I think it's amazing. So we're very grateful.
That's right. We know that every Epica album is like a step forward. You always try to make new things. Some people talk about reinvention on every album. How do you see that in this case about the innovation of this album in particular?
Yeah, for us, I think musically and also lyrically and personally, we want to evolve with each new album or EP that we release and try to see what we can do different, what do we want to keep, what new elements we want to add to make it exciting. And from Omega on, we found out that the band meeting together to do these writing camps was really good. So we did more for a spiral, and with the Alchemy project, the EP that we did, we had a different recording process where the drums, guitars, and bass were recording the song at the same time instead of separately. And those are things that we then, we pick all the good things from the other albums, what we learned and what we think, is a great way to work and create and record. And that's what we did now with the Spiral. And because it's our ninth album, we thought, it's the last single digit before, you close a cycle and you enter the double digits. We wanted to grow and evolve with how the music business has evolved also, and ourselves, things we're going through in life. Our music is a little bit like a diary, it's a timestamp, and yeah, we've been around for a long time, but the fun and the passion we have for music is never been so strong, I guess.
That's right. Well, in that sense, seems like the band is more mature at this point. You know, the way you focus on some things. You agree with that?
That we are more mature, I think. Yeah, I guess the band is not only a band, it's a business. So a lot more responsibility comes with being in a band of this size, I guess. It's not rock and roll in a basement, it's planning far ahead in the future, making big shows. I think we've matured, but we all have, some of us, a childlike spirit in us, and I think you can see that on the stage. We've matured, but we still like to goof around, I think.
Right. One of the very cool things about Epica are the topics that you touch on your songs. Very interesting things that sometimes talk about the future, about virtuality, about different worlds, about even some physics on it. Very interesting things. Tell me about that, about the interests that you have at the moment of writing songs and stuff like that.
Well, I think Mark and I both write the lyrics,
Mhm.
and Mark has always been into physics, and I would be the one that would write a little bit more like personal stories or even stories inspired by movies. And for this album, a total new thing for me was that I wrote a lyric inspired by the sculpture, which is called A Spiral. And I guess the topic, the story behind the sculpture of like a rebirth, of a renaissance, of rebuilding, renewal after you've gone through, a horrible, in that case, it was war and they had to rebuild the society, but it can also be in your own life. And the fact that also as a band, we want to keep on growing, spiritually, musically, and we all connected very strongly with that. And there are a couple of other topics on the album. Of course, I wanted to pay homage to the castle of my hometown, which has this haunted story of the called the Blue Lady who lost, I think she had many children, and the last younger children died, and she believed that they were somehow, she's haunting the castle searching for her lost children. Um, and let me see, the Fight to Survive, our last single, Mark wrote the lyrics. It's about the astronauts going into space to discover the moon, and then they see how fragile and beautiful the Earth is. And when they return, they want to connect with the Earth again. And of course, with climate change, and yeah, we're full in climate change. So we see so many things happening in the world. Yeah, we want to inspire, we want to spread a message of hope and connect people through our music, through our lyrics, make people think and maybe recognize a little bit of themselves in the lyrics. So yeah.
Well, amazing stories for sure. Well, we were talking about the innovation on the studio album, but at the same time, we know that your live shows are very innovative too. So, what can we expect this time?
Well, you can expect a very cool set list and six happy musicians on stage, an amazing light show, great sound, and great energy. I am not sure what we can all fit into our suitcases to bring to Latin America. When we're touring in Europe, we are also touring with like a truck full of all those show props, which we unfortunately cannot bring with us to Latin America, but our energy and our show will still be, as it is when we have all those extra props. I think it's more about having an interesting set list, promoting the new album, and also playing some classics that the fans all want to hear and just have a good time together with Epica.
Sounds good. Sounds good. Well, with Epica, you have more than 20 years playing. It seems like you have done everything. But I want to know, is there anything that you never done as a band that you'd like to do at some point?
We've done a lot of things, and one of the biggest milestones for us was, of course, the choir orchestra shows. The symphonic synergy shows were amazing. And we played with Metallica in arenas or stadium, I guess, on an interesting shaped stage. Who knows what we can still do? We maybe tour with Rammstein one day. Who knows? That would be really cool. Other than that, I think we've accomplished so many things, so many dreams came true that, I just hope we can keep on playing and, keep how do you say, keep food on the table. I don't intend to become super rich from making music. I just wanted to fulfill my creative need and my how do you say, desire to travel and see the world. I think that's amazing. Anything that comes after this is a bonus, I guess.
Mhm. Sure. Well, last year you released your first solo album, Per Million. How was
Yes.
that? How was the experience for you?
It was amazing. I mean, it was a dream to do it since a long time. And I also reached out to Arjen Lucas a couple years ago with the idea that I would love to write an album with him because I admire him and think we would be a good fit. I worked with him, of course, for Arian already, and but it took us a couple years to get to clear our schedule in order to find the time to do it. And I basically went from creating recording Vermilion straight into the spiral writing sessions with Epica. But I learned a lot from that experience, vocally as well. You know, Arjen really got like new sounds out of me that I didn't know that I had, and I could implement that for a spiral. So that was really cool. Yeah, a dream come true. It's another thing off the bucket list for sure.
Good. Well, that's one of the good things that you can explore different things that you cannot do as part of a band, right?
Yes. Yeah, I mean, in the band, of course, we're six people, and all is six like creative, different creative backgrounds and different music taste. And with Arjen, of course, it was just the two of us, also together with his partner Laurie. And yeah, we were a good team, I guess. And with Epica, it's a different dynamics. And of course, with Vermilion, I could indeed do whatever I want because nobody knew it was coming anyway. Came out of the blue, you know.
Good. And will you continue on doing solo material?
I will do another solo project when the time is right. Now, of course, I enter the spiral tour cycle with Epica. But whenever I feel inspired or have cool ideas, I will write them down, record them, collect them, and then see whenever I can do album number 2. But honestly, 2024 was a very intense year for me. So I don't know if I can come up with a second album within this year or next year, but the wish to do it is there.
Good, good. Well, Simone, that's all for us right now. Thank you very much. The last thing, can you make an ID for our radio station? It's called Radio Futuro, and please make an invitation for people to go to the show.
Yes. Hola, Metalheads de Chile. This is Simone Simons from Epica, and you're listening to Radio Futuro. Epica's coming to Chile. You don't want to miss it. I hope to see you guys there. Muchas gracias.
That's it. Perfect. That's it. Thank you very much for your time, and we will see you here in Santiago, okay?
Yes, we will. Thank you very much. Adios.
Bye-bye.